Hello, this is Pearl, and today I'm going to read Little Pilgrim's Progress, Chapter 17, A Happy Day. When morning came, little Christian supposed that he would have to continue his journey, but as soon as breakfast was over, he heard the gentle voice of discretion desiring him to come to her. "I think it will do you good to stay with us for a few days," she said. "You have walked a long way since you left home, and it is not well for little pilgrims to travel too quickly at first." "I should like to stay," said Christian, "if I shall not be in the way." "You will not be in the way at all. Taking care of little pilgrims is part of the work that my daughters have to do for the king, and we are always glad to have children staying at the palace." "Did my mother stay here? Her name was Peace, and I think she must have come this way when the king sent for her." "It is a long time ago. I was quite a little baby when she went away." "We will look in the records for her name. If she stayed here, it will be written down." "I think she was just a little bit like you," said Christian timidly. Discretion bent down and kissed the child, for she saw the tears in his eyes. "You will find her again, little Christian," she whispered. "And do you know that she is often very near to you? You cannot see her, but she can see you. The king is very good, and he knows how mothers love their little ones." "I shall see her in the king's city?" "Yes, and then you will never lose her again." "And my father?" asked little Christian anxiously. "Will he always be busy, or do you think he will some day be able to come too?" "I cannot tell," replied Discretion, "but I am sure the king will not leave off sending messages to him, and perhaps when he knows that you and your mother are so happy, he will wish to be with you, and he will begin his pilgrimage." "He will not be frightened on the way," said Christian, "because he is a man and very brave. I think perhaps that even mother did not like passing the lions. When father comes, can you tell him that I stayed here, and that when he gets to the gates of the celestial city, he will be sure to see me watching for him?" "Yes, I will tell him," answered Discretion. "Now I have many things to do, so Charity shall take you into the library, and you may look in the records for your mother's name." Christian spent a very happy day at the palace. Sometimes Charity was with him, and sometimes Prudence, and sometimes Piety, but they were all kind and gentle, and did everything they could to please their little guest. Christian, like many other boys, loved to read stories and to look at pictures, and he found much to enjoy in the library of the Palace Beautiful. Prudence told him which books to read, and Piety showed him all the pictures. There were many pictures of children, like Moses lying in his cradle of rushes by the waterside, little Samuel lighting the lamps in the house of God, and little Timothy listening to his mother's teaching. "And this is our dear prince himself," said Piety. "You have read in your book how he came down to live among us, and was a little baby in a poor home. Here you see him in the arms of his mother, and the shepherds are kneeling round him." Little Christian liked this picture, and stood before it for some time until Charity called him to look at one that was her favorite. It was called The Guardian Angel. A little child was walking along a very narrow path, and close behind him came a beautiful angel, with her hands spread out to touch his shoulders on either side. "You see he cannot fall," said Charity. "The king has sent the angel, and if he slips, she will hold him fast." The time passed so quickly that the little pilgrim was surprised when evening came. Discretion had been busy all day, but before the lamps were lighted, she came into the library where Christian was reading. He laid down his book, and she drew him into her arms, and talked to him in a low, gentle voice, telling him many things about their good king and the prince, his son. "I have never spent such a happy day in all my life," said Christian when he went to bed. "If it were not that I wish so much to live in the king's city, I should like to stay here always."